So welcome to another exciting video from PyCoders Academy with me Faisal from PyCoders Academy. So in our previous video we looked at the staff login page where we authenticated the user using the database. Then we actually added some error catching functions to actually catch our errors. Then we also looked at how to style our staff login page a bit. Okay, so let's quickly run through what we did last time. So let me run this. Okay, so when I go to staff, so I'll just type any wrong value of like any username which is wrong. So I'll just type something, then I'll go to password which is also something. Then when I click, it said username is incorrect, so the error catching function is working. So when I go to, let's say, a valid username, which is this, by wrong password, let's see the outcome. Okay, incorrect password, so it's working. Let me enter a valid password, so login. Okay, so no errors, but let me see, log it in successfully. Okay, so that's what we did last time. So in this video we will try and create a billing page, so a page that will, let's say, contain the items and the, let's say, what the user bought, then the total cost, then we will actually apply what the user will pay, so the paid amount, then we will generate the balance also. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing in this video. We said early on, so we just do like creating a new page. So in creating a new page, as we do always, we just create a new function. Okay, so I'll add a new function here. So let me put it here. So let's say billing page function, so billing underscore page. Okay, that's what I'll be doing. Okay, now I will have to place forget all like the pages I've already created. So the first page I created was the home page. So I just do home page, then I'll say dot place forget, so place underscore forget. Okay, so the home page has been forgotten. Now I'll go to the second one, which will be, so here when I go to staff login page, it means I'm from the staff login page, so I have to start from the staff login page. So that's the page we have to forget. So I'll go back. Okay, so there's the name here, so that's the frame we used, so I'll just put it here. So staff login page dot place underscore forget. Okay, so place underscore forget. Okay, so these two are what we want to forget before we create our own page for the billing page. Okay, so quickly let's look at how to create the billing page. So it's very simple. We just do billing page. Okay, so we will name it billing page frame to, let's say, avoid some confusion with the function name. So billing page frame being equal to frame. Okay, then I will say it will inherit from the main page, which is, let me see, which is the supermarket app. Okay, so it's supermarket app, so supermarket. Okay, now the frame, I'll set a width and a height for the frame. So we just do width being equal to 1080, so that it will match the entire, like it will go on the entire, let's say, uh, widgets or entire space. Then height should be, let's say, 1080 instead. Then the width should be 1920, so 1920. Okay, so this is the length or the dimensions for my screen. So for your screen, you have to search the dimensions for your screen and actually work around it. So if you want a full optimized screen, you just need the height and the width of that screen. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. So now I'll place it on my Tkinter GUI. So I'll just do billing page frame dot place. Now I'll place it at the first position, so color first position, which is from the horizontal axis. I'll set it to 0. Then the for the vertical axis, I'll set it to 0 also, so that it will be at the, let's say, the topmost corner, like from the left hand side. So that's the billing page frame. Okay, now we will have to create two scroll text. So for what we'll be doing here, we will use scroll text. So like scroll text is just for scrolling your text, but we will inculcate some new function for the scroll text, which is putting some images and together with text and entries. So the entry widget to actually scroll that whole, let's say, widget. So a group of widgets, which is the image of that item, the entry of that item, the name of that item, like as a group. Then we will create another group, so a series of groups in a single scroll text. Then we'll be able to scroll it down from the top to the down and so on. Okay, so quickly let's see how we can import the scroll text. So I think the scroll text is actually the same as the widgets we know, so it carries the same options. We have the font option, the width option, the background option, and so on. So that's what we'll be looking at. So quickly let me go to the top. Okay, so I just imported the scroll text here. So the scroll text is actually different from all the widgets we have. So for the menu button widgets, we can just use this directly, but for this scroll text, we need to import it from the scroll text module, from the Tkinter module itself. So from Tkinter, import scroll text. Okay, so let's see how we can use it. So let's say for the scroll text, as I said, we have two of them. The first one being the one which contains the group of widgets, the images, the item name, then the let's say the entry. Then the second one will be, let's say, containing the what the user bought or what the customer bought. So it's two scroll texts. So that's what we'll be using here. So the first one, we call it item scroll text. So item underscore scrolled text. Okay, so that's the first scroll text we'll be creating. Then I'll say scrolled text. Okay, so I made a mistake here. Scrolled text dot scroll text. So that's how to use or that's how to call the scroll text widget using the Tkinter model. Okay, so scroll text. Then I'll say, so where am I inheriting from? So I'm inheriting from the newly created page, which is the billing page frame. So billing page frame. Okay, so billing page frame. So we have our scroll text. Now we may have to set some width and height for the scroll text. So I would like to set it to width being equal to, let's say, an 80 here, then a height being equal to let's say 40 here. So height being equal to 40. Okay, so we have our scroll text here. Now I would like to place it on my Tkinter window. So I'll just do item. Okay, so item underscore scroll text. Then I'll use place to place it. So place. Then I'll say x being equal to, so let's say I'll push it a bit far from the x-axis. So I'll say 10. Then height being equal to, I'll give it an 80 here. Okay, so that it will, let's say, move from the top a bit. Okay, so that's our scroll text. So quickly let's run this code and see what we are getting. So let's see. So I'll go to staff, continue, then I'll say, okay, my credentials. Okay, I'll log in. Okay, so let's see the result. Okay, we haven't added it here, so no so we can see the login says, but we haven't added the pages. So what we will do next is just go to here. Okay, so instead of printing logged in, I'll just call the billing page here. So billing underscore page. Okay, so simple. Now let's go again. So run. Okay, start my login quickly. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we can see the magic here. So the magic is happening. So we can see we have a scroll text. So what makes it a scroll text is that you can, let's say, drag the content of the scroll text from the top to the down, or from, let's say, the left to the right. So working with the x and y axis. Okay, so we can type something here, we can put something there. Okay, so since it hasn't exhausted the total length of that scroll text, we won't see anything here to, let's say, drag, or let's say not drag or something. So let me actually reduce the size so that we can see some effect of the scroll text. Okay, so I'll, instead of what height did I, okay, instead of 40 here, I'll be using let's say 10 here. Then I'll be typing text inside it so that we can see how we can scroll the content in the scroll text. Okay, so I'll go to here. Okay, then password, quickly log in. Okay, now I'll start typing. So to make it a bit faster, I'll just do one line of code. Okay, so go, I think this is so long. I'll give it, okay, let me see. Okay, I'll give it a 5 here so that we will exhaust the length a bit faster. Okay, so let's go again. Okay, so okay, fast. 1 2 3. Okay, so this is a bit smaller now. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so we are not seeing an increasing width here because we have set a width for our GUI, or for our widget. So if you can see, when I exhausted the total width I gave it, like initially, we saw a bar here being generated. So let me go back a bit. Okay, so you can see there is no bar here, so we can't see any bar here yet. So I'll go again. Okay, so you can see there's a bar appeared just now. So that's the scrolled text widget. Okay, so I know we didn't treat it when we were treating the series of widgets we know, but I think this is the advanced one, but it's very simple as we did. So if you follow this video, you can actually do what I'm doing. It's very simple. Okay, so you have your bar here which you can drag. So we are using the same analogy for, let's say, our items. Okay, so let me quickly go back. Okay, now I'll set it to my let's say 30 instead of 4. So last time it was too lengthy or too high. Okay, so we have our scroll test working now. So I'll create another scroll test for, let's say, accepting the purchases from a consumer, so a particular consumer. So I'll go down here, then I'll say item, then I'll say, oh, now I will do it purchases so that it will be different from the item. So purchases. Okay, so purchases scroll test. Okay, scrolled underscore text. Okay, now I'll say scroll text. Okay, so to do it a bit easier for you, you can even import that scroll text directly from the top there instead of doing what I'm doing. So there is two ways of doing things, so you can apply that. So scroll text. Okay, then I'll say billing. So page, so that's my app or my frame name. Then I'll say, so here I'll give it the same width, so width being equal to, let me do it a 15 here so that we can see what is happening there. Then a height of let's say 20. Okay, we are good to go. Now I'll place it also, so purchases dot place. Okay, then I'll push it far away from the items. So I'll say x being equal to, let me see, so let me see 760 here. So from the x axis, so from the left hand side, we are putting 760 as the length from the x axis. Now from the top, which is the y axis, I'll give it let's say a 70 here. Okay, so quickly let's check what we have done so far. Okay, wrong button clicked. Okay, so let me see. Stuff, username being my credentials, password. Okay, so these are all in the database, so you can, as we did earlier. Okay, so you can see I'm getting another school text there. So you can see this a very like a bit small here, yeah. But I would like to open it a bit, yeah. So let's try and open it a bit. So like tweaking the widget to your style is what like takes your time. So if you actually, let's say, have the design in mind, you have to sit down like, let's say, for hours to design the page to your liking. So that's the disadvantage of the Tikinta widget. But you can actually do that. Even 1 hour is okay. Yeah, I think so. So let's open the widget a bit. So I'll say the width should go to a 80 here. Then the height may be a 20. Now let's leave it to the 20 here. So let's click this. Okay. 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 So go again. Okay, so you can see it a bit okay now. So we will try and add some buttons. So let's see the button that will reset the items when the consumer buys the product, then the one which will add the items to this scroll text here. Okay, so let's go here. So let me see. So for items scroll text, I have a button, two buttons rather. So two buttons. Then for pages scroll text, I'll have the total cost plus let's say the amount paid, like the purchased fee, like what the cost consumer gave out. Then the, let's say, the balance. Okay. So the first button will be the add button, or let's say the, yeah, let's leave it like the add button. So add button. Okay, then I'll say button. Okay, so creating a button is simpler. So billing page field, so text being equal to, then I'll say it should be let's say add. Okay, quickly, then I will leave the background being equal to blue. Okay, so bg being equal to blue, then the foreground, so that's the text on the button, so fg being equal to white. Okay, so we just want to make it a bit like so you can choose any color you want, so you just, yeah. Then we go to the reset button. So if you followed what I explained earlier, we want to, let's say, reset it after a customer has already bought something. So simple. So billing page frame, then I'll say text being equal to, then I'll say reset. Okay, then I'll say bj is also blue, then fj is white. Okay. Okay, so we are using Chelsea colors here. Okay, so we will try and see like the width. We should, let's say, set it to the button. So let's start pushing it on, let's say, our second time. So I will just do add button, then I'll say dot place. Okay, from the X I'll say go a bit, let's say 50, then the Y. So here, we pushed our scroll text, the item scroll text 80 from the top, and we set the height to 35. So let me give it okay, so let me give it a 200 here. So let's see. So if it doesn't go to the right place, we just change it and, let's say, add another value. So we say reset. Okay, reset button. Okay, then this one too on the same horizontal axis but different. Okay, on the same height but different horizontal axis. So I'll give this 150. Okay, 150 is too much, so 130 here. Okay, then I'll set my total, then the purchase, and the balance. Okay, so that one will be, let's say, a label. So I'll have 3 labels and 3 entries. So I'll just do it quickly. So let's see. So label, so the first one will be the total label, total amount label amount. So it's actually very, very simple. Okay, so you just follow what we did earlier. So I'll say this should be a label, then I'll say billing page frame. The text should be total, so we are displaying the total amount, so total. Then I'll say the font should be being equal to, let's say, what we created earlier, so my font here, so my font here. Then I'll say purchase or paid, okay, let's say paid amount, so paid amount being equal to, I would say label, so three labels, so three different labels, so label being equal to, I'll say billing page frame, the text being equal to, let's say paid amount paid here, amount paid, amount, leaving a space here. Okay, the case is not good, so amount paid. Okay, now I'll say the same font styling, so font being equal to my font. Okay, then the last one being the, okay, so let me quickly copy this and paste it here. Okay, so the last one will be the balance amount, so balance amount. Okay, so this is the skeleton of your billing page. So we are just adding the skeleton, then we will add the, let's say, the main flesh later. So balance amount, then I'll say amount left, or yeah, amount left. No, amount left will be too raw. Let's leave it as balance. Okay, okay, so balance is okay. So we have these three labels. Now we need three entries, okay, for each of them. So I'll just do total amount. So these three entries we are creating will have each let's say having let's say a text variable, so different text variables. So total amount, then I'll say total amount entry being equal to, okay, being equal to, then I'll say entry. Okay, then I'll say billing page font should be my font. Okay, okay, so I think that's that for this one. Then I'll copy it twice. Okay, okay, sorry, paste it twice. Okay, now you have to change. So I'll quickly copy this. Here should be paid amount. Okay, paid amount entry. Then this will be balance amount entry. Okay, so we just add the text variables quickly. So I'll say total amount underscore entry, or total amount, I'll say var, so total amount var being equal, so we will leave it as a float, so that we can get some, let's say, points here. So let's say point, so I'll just do double. So for float we use double var, like for the text variables. So I will say the same thing for the next two. So here just go 1 2. Okay, so here should also be balance var and paid amount var. So here should be paid amount var, paid. Okay, then the balance amount var, then we pass them as an option to the individual entry. So here should be, let's say, text variable. Okay, okay, so we won't see it there since it's just an option. So text variable passing the, let me see, how did you name it? Okay, total amount var. Okay, okay. The next one will be for the paid, and sorry, so let me go back. Okay, go to here, paste and paste again. Okay, so I'll quickly copy this name, paste here, copy this name, paste there. Okay, so we are good to go. So you have three different labels and three different entries. Okay, so let's see how we can place this one. So the total amount, let's see how we can place it. So it should come below the second ScrolledText. Okay, so we just do, so let me try putting it now. Let me put it one after the other beneath them. So I'll say total underscore amount being dot place. Okay, Then I will say x being equal to, so I will say the same horizontal as like the one I pushed, the okay, here should be total. The one I pushed the scroll test, so the pages scroll test, I gave it 760, so I'll push it 760. Now for the y-axis, I'll push it a bit of, let's say I'll push it to let's say 480, yeah, something like 480. But I don't know if I'm pushing it too far, but we use it like that. So 480. Then I think the entry will be the same height. Okay, so I'll bring it here. So here should be 480, but the x-axis should push a bit. So I'll give it an 880 here. Okay, then go to the next one. So the next one being, okay, so let me quickly copy this side. So the next one being the balance or paid amount. So here should be paid. Okay, now it's the same x-axis but different height. So here I'll set it to 600. Or now let me give it a 5. Okay, 600 is okay since, yeah. Okay, let me use 530, right? Okay, then the next one will be, so I'll copy this, put it the next one, so go back. Oh, so that's what you go through. So it's very stressful, but that's the end product is, let's say, what it matters. So underscore entry. Okay, so entry, then I'll say here should be paid underscore entry. Okay, so you have this. Then I think it's the same height, so it should go 540, but the x-axis should go 880 here. So I'll copy the same thing for here, but this one should be balance amount. So balance amount. Okay, then I'll say it should be entry. And I'll say place. So here I'll push it to 880 from the left. So 880. Then the y should go a bit of, let's say, 640. No, let's go at 600 here. So up to now we haven't run anything yet. So I'll go here, paste. Okay, then I'll copy this guy, paste it here. Okay, then as we set this one, so we set it to 600, so I'll just put 600 here. Okay, so now let's look at how our billing page is looking. So let me run stuff, credentials. Okay, then I'll say 120. Okay, it's looking good, huh? Okay, so it's looking good, but we need some, let's say, tweak here and there. Okay, so we should push this add and reset buttons down a bit, increase the height and, let's say, the font also. Okay, so that's what we have to do now. Okay, so let's look at how we can do that. So we have to push and, let's say, separate this side too. So let's go back. Okay, so back. Okay, so where should we start from? Okay, we should start from the add button. So instead of 200, we should go a bit of let's say 200. Let's go 700. Okay, 700 is too much. Let's do it 650 here. So the same 650 will be here. Okay, now I'll give it the font styling also so that we can see bigger text. Okay, so font being equal to my font, another font being equal to my font. Okay, so the font is cool. Should add some. Okay, now it will, let's say, create some width by itself, so let's leave it like that. Now this, where is it? Okay, so here push it to, let's say, a 930 here, a 930 here also, then a 930. Then we should like increase the height So 930. Now this height should go somewhere. Let me see. Let's give it 5. Okay, so let's see. Let's say 570 here. Okay, then I would say 650 here. Okay, so we want to space it out a bit. So 570 and 650. So 570 and 650. Okay, so we are good to go. So let's go again. So staff, continue, credentials. Okay, okay, so I think it's looking good now, but still this add and reset button, since the add is actually shorter than the reset, they will have, let's say, different widgets, but unless we set a widget a width for them. So I'll go here, so setting a width and pushing it down a bit. So where is it? Okay, so 650, I'll go a 700. Okay, then a 700 here also. Okay, now set a width here. So let's say width, I'll give it a 30. So for both of them, so 30. Then I'll set another 30 here for, let's say, the reset button. So width being equal to 30. Okay, so let's go. The next one. Okay. Okay, it's actually going into, okay, so let's reduce the width. So 10. Then another 10 here. Oh no, let's give it 20. Then 10. So we have to space it out a bit since we are increasing the width. So here I should go a 170 here. 170. Now let's go again. Whew, this is okay. 1, 2, 3. Again. Okay, still it's going into the one. So here I'll put it to let's say a 15 and a 15 here, so that we should reduce the height width a bit. Then I'll go a 200 here. I think this should space it out to required width. Okay, so let's go a 5. So credentials. Okay, so I think this is looking good now. Okay, it's looking good, but you can space it a bit, but you can see some line separating the add and reset. Okay, so okay, I think we didn't do everything, so it's left with the checkout button here, so that when we check it out we can get the subtracted price. Okay, so quickly let's do the last thing. So the last thing will be, let's say, I'll go down here. Okay, then I'll say checkout. Then I'll say, okay, I should do a checkout button so that you can view it simply. So button. Okay, now here billing page left a frame, sorry. Then I'll say text being equal to checkout. We will add some styling. Okay, checkout. Then I'll say BG being equal to blue. Then I'll say FG being equal to white. Then I'll set the font to my font. Okay, set to font my font. Okay, then I'll give a comma here. I think that's the error here I'm getting. So yeah, I'll push this guy down. So check out button dot. So place down. Okay, so we used a height of 650 here, so let me push it to 720. So x being equal to, we need to push it to the left, so x being equal to 960, then the y being equal to, let's say, 720. Okay, so let's see how it's looking like. Okay, wrong button. Okay, so go again, staff, credentials. Okay, then I'll say 1, 2, 3, then login. Okay, so it's looking good. So that's the skeleton of, let's say, our supermarket app. So we'll be adding some items here, including images. Then we'll be adding some, let's say, the purchases here. Then we will be getting the total amount paid, then the balance. Okay, so this is the first part of the billing page. Let's say billing page code or Ticketer GUI. So you actually work on the next let's say part, which will be adding the images, then adding some functions here and there to actually do some events. So when I click this, I should go to that. When I do that here, so that's what we'll be adding in the next part. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so in this video, we actually completed the first part of the building page, which is creating the skeleton for our supermarket, our desktop app. So it's very simple. We just use the scroll text button, which scroll text widget which we haven't used it before. So this is the first introduction to scroll text on my channel. So so it's very simple, like how we did it. So very simple. So in the next part, you add some images to, let's say, stand for the items, then some text here and there, and entry. Then we work on the purchases that the user or the customer does it, and then we will go to the total amount, the amount paid by the customer, and the balance. So we can choose to print it out when you have, let's say, a printer to print it out. So it's very simple. So we will connect these things or so. I think it will be in the next video. Okay, so thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel and see you in the next video. Okay, let's go.